So here's the question. Okay, so, all right, let me focus. Okay, here's the question for today. It's about tough decisions, and I wrote it down over there. I'm seeing a number of YouTubers, like thousands, okay? Thousands of YouTubers taking the easy way out. Thousands of social justice warriors, or, I'm complaining about the term social justice warrior was something we used to hear like 15 years ago, but it's been around since before I've been born. And like, it's going on for Jesus was a social justice warrior. So was Moses. Lucifer, Lucifer, the devil is a social justice warrior. Think about it. I'll say that again. Think about it. The devil is the first, as far as I know, is a social justice warrior. But no, before the devil, Lilith is a social justice warrior. Lilith was probably the first social justice warrior. So it's not really that new. But that's not the point of what we're talking about today. I just think it's funny. What I'm talking about is I'm seeing a lot of videos come up on my screen these days, and people are presenting me with videos that's throwing stones at very easy targets. It's easy to say a kid who drowns a bunch of kittens in the river is bad. It's easy to say that. It's easy to make an hour-long video to denounce that. It's very easy. It's easy to say that someone who's some mother who abandoned her children, or some mother who abused her children physically and violently, is bad. And it's easy to throw stones, especially when you don't know what she's going through. You don't know her mental health state. You don't know what she's gone through that, sent her over the edge to create these acts. You don't know that. It's really easy to throw stones at that. It's really, really easy to throw stones at anything that you don't, whether you understand it or not, it's easy to throw stones at it. Like we've said this before. Ignorance leads to fear. Ignorance is what leads to fear. Ignorance, and then fear is what leads to hatred, or fear is what leads to anger. And anger is what leads to hatred. Hatred leads to violence. But it's ignorance which does it. You don't know what the mother went through. You don't know. And it's easy to stand there and say, oh, so-and-so did this, and so-and-so did this, and so-and-so did this. It's easy to let your ignorance lead towards anger and self-righteousness. But you're ignorant. You're ignorant. You're stupid. You're void of fact. And worse, you're not relaying things to everybody. You're only telling a bit of the story. You're creating fear and self-righteous pontification based upon your lack of ignorance. And furthermore, you're hiding the light. You're hiding the truth of why this woman did this. The question isn't what she did. And the deal is not to throw stones at someone who's mentally ill. The question is not to kick someone who's down. That's not the point. You should be ashamed of yourself. I feel sick. I feel sick when people show me these videos. You're hiding light. Your job is to help these people. Your job is to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Not to shine a light on ignorance. Not to shine a light on half the story. Okay, that atrocity was committed. Your job's not to say, oh, an atrocity is committed. Look how bad that person is. That's lazy. And it's ignorant. It's ignorant and lazy. But it's good TV. It's great TV, and it's good YouTube. It's hard to sit there through a video of how to avoid this situation. We've said this before. It's so easy to stand there and throw stones, but it's very difficult to come up with a comprehensive and conclusive way, program, paradigm, method to resolve some of these monstrosities that are happening right now. It's difficult. It's difficult to come up with an honest solution, an honest, workable solution to help some of the inequalities that we see in the world today. Ignorance is what's leading to fear. Ignorance. And whether someone is only telling half of the story, they are preying upon your ignorance. And I'm not saying you are stupid. Not at all. Not the audience is not stupid. Like we say it a million times. I don't know anything about flat Earth, but it doesn't mean that I think we're going to fly into the sun. And so, it does. I don't know anything about flat Earth, but I don't think some giant space Godzilla is going to come and squish us out of existence. I don't think that. And so, but sometimes you can, so be careful. It's easy to be led down the garden path of a story. It's easy to be led down a path by your heart. Someone tug at your heartstrings. But your heart is not the mind. Your heart is not your soul. And so it's easy. And shame on those people for doing it. There's nothing wrong with having ignorance. It's like I don't speak every language in the world. You don't speak every language in the world, and you don't know everything. So what? We're a team. We're supposed to be in this together. And like I said, it makes good TV. But I'm speaking in circles now. Let's move forward. So when we see things, so that's what's happening on YouTube. I'm seeing a lot of easy targets. I'm seeing a lot of people attacking easy targets. And it's really sad. It's sad. And I see some people do a little bit of research, but they have no foundation in how, it's really stupid. It's the blind leading the stupid down a dark path of ignorance into a rabbit hole of it's just brutal. And its sole goal is to defeat is to get views. That's it. That's what the manna of the day is. The food, the nurturing substance of the day is views. It's just so sad. Your goal is not really to find out any answers in this world. Your goal is not really to find out how and what way. You're not a leader. You're just a regular person. Your goal is to live your life and maybe be as happy as you can. Your only real goal is to be at peace with yourself and your decisions so that you don't go cuckoo bananas. And that's it. Whether you do or don't do anything. As a consumer, your goal is to be at peace with yourself. But as a creator, as an influencer, as a provider, as a moral compass, it's really sad. It's really sad to watch the nonsense go on and on. I'm seeing countless videos now, of young people come across, young meaning new, inexperienced, haven't gone through the trials yet, trying to be famous or by saying they hate things. It's so sad. It's a commentary of what's happening in society right now. But it's not just that. There's more to it. There's a lot of irresponsible talk out there. I see this talk, now that I'm in the United States, to talk about universal health care. That's irresponsible. It sounds so nice, but it's just nonsense. You can't have universal... You can have universal health care, but, at the same time, they're not talking about what are they going to do when they displace the millions of people who work in the personal... in the health insurance industries. What are you going to do about those guys? What are you going to do about the countless insurance agents who just lost half their business? What are you going to do with those guys? It's not fair. You also just can't blanket tax the rich. That's nonsense. That's stupid. Why don't you blanket tax the poor? Make them work harder. Make them look for opportunity. Walk a little farther. Suffer, It's not that easy, and I know it's not that easy. But you just can't tax people for being successful. You can't tax people for working harder. You can't tax people because they didn't party on a Friday night. You can't tax someone because they decided not to go have sex in the back of a car and get pregnant. They decided to study instead. I know I have countless and countless people I know who didn't go out on Friday, Saturday night and stayed home and studied, and they become successful. Or they didn't drink any booze. They were just, they were training for a physical event. Like, why are you taxing the people who worked hard? Why would you put an extra tax on someone who worked hard? Why would you put a tax on success? That's un-American. And I'm not even American. I'm Canadian. It doesn't even make sense. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? Anyways, I'm just saying, you're being tugged at your heartstrings all over the place. You're being tugged at your heartstrings. They're blinding you with ignorance. They're hiding the real light from you, and they're not giving you a real answer, a real way. So when you see the next story about a mother who goes crazy, ask, what made her do that? What tough decisions did you have to make in your life? Have you ever been in a situation where you're the boss and you had to fire your best friend? Have you had to do that? I've had to do that several times. Have you been in a situation where you're like, you have to really let them go, and they're not going to be employed, they're not going to be able to pay their rent, they're not going to be able to eat, their family is going to suffer. Have you ever been in that situation? Have you been in a situation where you couldn't feed your kids? Have you been in a situation where you couldn't feed yourself? Have you been in a situation where you couldn't pay your own rent? Have you been in a situation where you had to walk, 45 minutes to work in shoes that have holes in it in the rain? Have you ever done that? Or do you just sit there and pick on people who have to do it? Have you had violent parents? Did you grow up with violent parents? Did you grow up with neighbors who are violent? Did you grow up in gun violence? Sometimes in life you have to make tough decisions. And sometimes these people who make tough decisions are called a lot of names, like narcissists, even though they have to make tough decisions to keep everyone's greater good. They're called selfish, they're called narcissists, they're called egomaniacs. But they have tough decisions to make. And they're not hiding. They just have tough decisions. So think about that next time you're watching a YouTube video about, something that seems crazy. Oh, this person did this. Oh, this person did this. Yeah, there are a lot of bad people in the world. Yeah, there are a lot of good people who became corrupted, and a lot of good people became bad. And there are a lot of bad people who become good. Not that I see, but most people go bad and stay bad. Because they can't heal the wound, right? So most people, when they go bad, they stay bad because they can't heal the wound. But the truth is, the point is, it's not about throwing stones at someone who is bad. It's about helping people who are good stay good in times when it's very easy for them to go bad. That's what it's about. You're supposed to take the stories of these monsters and make sure it doesn't happen again. Or else you're just throwing stones at the past, throwing stones at stories. You're just hitting easy targets. And it's really lazy, it's really sad, and you're propagating ignorance. And that's not what we do here on the sunny side. The sunny side is about shining light in this world. This woman did this. She did it because of this. So when you're in that situation, let's hope that you're stronger than this woman was. Let's hope that you could be strong. We tell stories of success here. And that's the action.